Your mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time once again since my last video, but I am here today to do a tag. As you can tell by the title, I've been tagged by Bizarre Individual about 2 months ago, and finally I'm taking the time to record this video. If I'm being honest, I've tried this video for like weeks. I tried doing this video, but each time something comes up, something is wrong, and I just can't upload that kind of stuff. So it's been a hot minute, but I'm here now doing these questions. I'll include the questions in the description box below if you wanted to copy paste and do them for yourself. I'm really bad at tagging people, so if you guys want to just try it, then feel free to share. I'm very interested to see your response to these questions as well. So, first things first. I can't speak English nowadays. First question is what I meant to say. Which of the big three do you enjoy the most? So I'm assuming this is like past big three. I don't think anything else is considered the big three than Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. And everyone who's been on this channel, anyone who's been on this channel knows that I really love One Piece. I've mentioned it literally every time a favorite series topic comes up. I've mentioned it, so yeah, One Piece. Question number 2. What is the best shounen after 2015? As much as I love Shonen Jump and I tend to collect and read a lot of it, I don't actually keep up with everything that they publish and every series that comes out. So I do have a friend who does though, and she's been recommending me a few titles which I'm very excited to try out. 2 of which are Dr. Stone and The Promised Neverland. I know they're around now, they're not technically new, but I haven't read them yet, and those 2 are the ones that I have my eye on. I've read a few chapters of Dr. Stone. It was kind of meh actually. The art style is beautiful, but I didn't really connect with the protagonist, but I'm so glad to hear that he is going to change to, like, the focus is going to shift to the other character who is just far more interesting. Let's just be real. And then Promised Neverland, I read about a volume of it, and I was just so intrigued because this is very not Shonen Jump. I was just surprised at the premise of it, so I am excited to see what those stories turn out to be like. Question number 3 is the oldest volume of manga I have, and I'm going to do it 2 ways, just like Bizarre Individual did. So he did it like the oldest series he has and the oldest book that he has. So I'll do the same in that order. So the oldest series that I think I own from the top of my head is Cat-Eyed Boy by Kazuo Umezu. And he also did Drifting Classroom not too far after. Cat-Eyed Boy I think was released 1968 or 69. And Drifting Classroom I think a few years after, like 1971 or 72. So I think those ones are the oldest that I have from memory. I may have older ones just in obscure singles or released in those Viz issues, like back in when they did comic book issues. But I can't remember. The oldest volume of manga I have is Magic Knight Rayearth Volume 3. I've talked about it before. Here's a photo of it. It's in storage, so I can't pull it out at the moment. But yeah, this is my first ever manga I got when I first came to New Zealand about almost 20 years ago, 18, 19 years ago. And it was when manga first started coming into the country, and that volume cost me 60 New Zealand dollars, which is like, I think 45 US dollars for one volume. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, that is it's really beat up, it's really ugly, so I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. It's just more of a personal piece to keep for nostalgic reasons. Question number 4. newest volume, I'll do it the same way. I think the newest published manga that I have, let me just double check. I feel like it's one of these two. Yeah, so this one I think came out in 2016. Yeah, 2016. The case study of Vanitas. What about this one? This one's 2013, so I'll put it away. Go away. So yeah, this is the newest published manga that I own. I'm not gonna keep collecting it. Actually, I've kind of put a hold on collecting, if you guys have seen my other updates video. But yeah, this is the newest one. But the newest addition to my collection are actually pretty old manga. They are these two. So I got them around the same time. I got One Out, the complete series. This is a gambling anime set in baseball. So, not anime, manga. It's a gambling manga, and the setting, the premise of the gambles are baseball games. And it is really cool. The anime is actually out and it's beautiful and really interesting. I think it's one of the best gambling series out there, along with, you know, the Grandmaster, Kaiji, and any of Fukumoto's work is just crazy good. And then this one, One Outs, is one of my favorites as well. Another one I got is this one. The Japanese title is something like Zankoku no Kami something. Anyway, it's called The Cruel God's Reign. And I've heard only good things about this series. Again, another title that doesn't have an English translation, I think. But I've been really enjoying it with Scanlation, so of course I had to own it in physical form. I have the complete set of these two Japanese manga, and they came in about a month ago. I've been pretty good not buying more stuff. Question number 5 is my favorite manga character, and this one is the hardest question ever. I think every time someone puts in a favorite character question, I really struggle. Every series that I kind of invest my time into, I do develop a favorite character of the series. So if you guys are more curious about my actual favorite characters, I'm thinking of doing a little thing with drawing all of my favorite characters from different shows I like or series that I like. But from the top of my head, I can think of Luffy from One Piece, Kuroro from Hunter x Hunter, Toriko from Toriko, Gappy, Josuke from JoJo Leon, Gyro Zeppeli from Steel Ball Run, Gintoki from Gintama. I swear there's more. I just have a lot, so it just depends on the series. Question number 6 is, who in manga do I consider best waifu or husbando? I consider best waifu characters, female characters who are very outgoing and funny. I think humor is a big part of being charming. So funny characters like Sakura from Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, and also Koizumi from Lovely Complex. Those girls are like my favorite kind of girls. I also really love Diana. She is physically strong, but that's not why I think she's a strong character. She is really honest with her feelings, and she's so adorable to look at. She's really girly, even though she's probably the brawn of her group. I don't know, it's just really nice. I think she's really cute. So those 3 girls are my waifu. And for husbando, this is hard because a lot of guy characters that I like, I would never consider a husbando type. Except maybe Toriko. Toriko, oh my god, thinking about Toriko. He is just so cool. unrealistic standards, like 2 meters high and really buff, really awesomely charismatic character. But other than that, he's also got like, I appreciate that he's an adult in a shonen series. Most of my shonen experience come from main characters who are kind of like younger, which is not a problem, but I never considered him husbando material. But Toriko is like 25 at the start of the series, has a career, is kind of well known in his field, is super passionate about his work, is really successful, so can support his intensely gluttonous lifestyle with ease. He is respectful to people, to the environment, to other creatures. He's just really respectful and really funny and like really like what's the word in English? Like really refreshing? He feels like a drink of cold water. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's probably why I consider him a husbando type. For me. Another character that I would consider husbando is Gyro from Steel Ball Run. If you guys are really starting to get into the JoJo because of the anime, I hope you enjoy part 7, which is my personal favorite of the entire 8-part series that it is right now. Gyro is from part 7, and he is just so cool, funny, just badass, and really kind. It's just anyway, Gyro. Husbando. Question number 7. My guilty pleasure manga. So I kind of consider guilty pleasure as a series that is kind of trashy or kind of a certain demographic that is not like very credible or whatever, but you enjoy it anyway. And I think the 2 series that come to mind, one of them is more anime. Watamote is, the English title is something like, no matter how I look at it, it's your guys' fault that I'm not popular. That series, it's kind of dumb and really awful in weird ways, but I do really enjoy it. I might do like a little other separate video talking about Watamote and how cool it is, but that one is a series that a lot of my friends make fun of me for liking. I'm quite openly liking it, so yeah. Another series that come to mind that I know offends some people, but I really enjoy the heck out of it. It is DMC, Detroit Middle City, and the anime is freaking great, and the manga is so funny. It's very crude though. It's kind of very, very perverted and very taboo and crude. In most places it's kind of disgusting, but I love it. It is so funny, and I just like that kind of gross out sometimes. So that is my 2. Manga, I have 1 anime, and this one throws everyone off when I say I really like this one. It is Queen's Blade. If you remember that really ecchi fantasy anime, bing, with the really amazing sexy designs of these bomb ass ladies, well, that is the series, and I do enjoy it. It's really fun. I think the character designs are very interesting and varied, and they take themselves so seriously, but then the anime doesn't take itself so seriously. It's just so great. So I love Queen's Blade. Question number 8. How do you organize your manga? This is a fun question because I put a lot of thought into how I used to organize my manga. Right now, because I'm putting a pause to my collecting hobbies, everything, I've reorganized my entire house. So my collection room, my bedroom, all of it, now all the shelves have items that I'm going to sell, and in my boxes out of the way are the stuff that I want to keep. So back when I did have a collection that I wanted to display and didn't have a life-changing decision, so if you guys know, my black shelves, that people seem to quite like. I'll put a photo up right now. That shelf used to hold all my holy grails and all of my completed favorite titles, and I would put them all on that shelf. And this one here, the one that my dad made, I would put like kind of big collections that don't quite make it to the black shelf, but it's kind of like the stuff I want to keep and finish collecting. I also used to organize each section by color of the spines, their publisher, and also the tone of the manga. So, for example, if I think of Angel Sanctuary, which is kind of like a dark josei manga, then the spines are white on that one. I would put next to Uzumaki, which is like a dark horror, but the spines on the individual volumes are white as well, so I put that together. And because black and white look so good together, next to the Uzumaki, I would put Arm of Canon, which is a horror manga, horror gore manga with black spines, and I'll put that next to it. When I had Drifting Classroom, which is a horror manga with really, really colorful spines, I would put it next to Death Note, which is kind of a darker tone, colorful spines as well. They look really good together. So I do it like that, where the top and bottoms and the sides kind of like relate to each other in some way. And I would also do like long shonen action series together, colorfuls together, planes together, all these other things. And it was a bit of a Tetris situation where I had to kind of like shift them around, like divide them into different sections, but it was very fun and I did enjoy displaying my manga like that. If you guys were curious what the setup was when you see glances of my collection, that is the basic thinking behind it. I don't know if I'm successful all the time, but it is something I try to do. Okay, question number 9. Who is my anime hero? My anime hero, I have 2 that come to mind. Firstly is Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin. This is back when I first started reading manga when I was like early teens. And back then I had a lot of insecurities, a lot of problems with anxiety and self-esteem issues, all these other, problems that happen when you're at that sensitive age. And I was looking to change my life. I was so sick and tired of being that miserable girl. So I started reading Kenshin, and here was a character who was really soft-spoken, really gentle, really confident in himself so that he doesn't shake or get shook by other characters around him who's trying to convince him to do things that he's against. He's very respected, has a lot of power but does not abuse said power. I just thought this was the character, this is the kind of person I wanted to be, so I actively set him as an objective in my life, and my life just got better from then on, trying to be more smiling, more soft-spoken, kinder. It was just a better time. People respond to it better, and I think it really changed my life. The other character that really inspires me or affects me to this day, I think, is Luffy from One Piece. I think currently in the current Wano arc, Luffy is going through some sort of character arc himself, so he's less of a thing right now, but back in his heyday when all his teammates were going through some stuff, he was a really amazing friend and leader to them, and I think I took a lot of notes from how he handled sensitive situations and stuff like that. Luffy is really cool. I don't know if people really appreciate him for how cool he actually is, but I think he deserves a lot of more mature credits. Like, he's cool and strong and all that stuff, but he's also really sensitive. That's fine. Anyway, those 2 are my anime heroes or manga heroes. And then question number 10 is, unfortunately, a downer, manga that I have dropped. There was actually not a lot of series that I drop. if I'm not interested, I just kind of stay away from it for a while and then come back when I am interested. I don't really like to close doors, but there is one series that I think I just kind of gave up on altogether, and that is Black Butler, unfortunately. I used to really enjoy this one when I was still in my late teens, mid to late teens, and I read up to the circus arc, the end of circus arc, and that's when I just kind of didn't like it, because the ending of the circus arc really left a bad taste in my mouth. I got so offended by this character, CL, and how he handled the whole situation, and just kind of how the writing went in that, during that arc too, because it had a lot of like shocking, touchy like subjects, and it handled all of them quite poorly, I felt. So I didn't like it at all at the time, and I dropped it, and I stayed away from it for about 4 or 5 years, and then I heard season 3 was coming out that covered the circus arc. So I went back and I reread it, hoping that I would change my mind, but unfortunately it just got worse. I didn't enjoy any of it after my second time around. So yeah, I just kind of stopped reading it, and I don't have that drive to pick it up ever again, which is kind of a shame. It is still beautiful, I think, but the art style just doesn't click with me anymore like it did back when I was into that aesthetic. So that is also a factor. Yeah, Black Butler. I left it in the past. That concludes the 10 questions for this tag. Thank you, Bizarre Individual, for tagging me and including me in all these fun little YouTube games. I'm really bad at socializing on here, but you guys really make me feel included and make me feel like I have friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have another video planned coming up just to update you on what's going on, future channel stuff, but that is for that video. For now, I will see you next time. Goodbye!